third guest of the day is Barbara Ann Foley. And Barbara Ann has a little list of 5 or 6 things that she wants to present to you. So listen carefully, and hopefully you'll have a pencil or paper, and you can take notes on what you want to attend. So Barbara Ann, why don't you start us off with a review of a...
Thank you, Paul. We do have a little bit of a review. We have a new, on this station, I have spoken to you before about the Social Security kiosk machine, and thankfully it's becoming very popular. So this coming Monday, the 20th, if you are interested in chatting with a person live from the Social Security office, they will be here from 9 o'clock on by appointment. There are many appointments already filled, but the day is not filled up yet. So they are only here once a month. So if you're on the fence and trying to figure out whether you should or you shouldn't, you will have to wait another month if you don't come on Monday. And if you do want to come, just give the Council on Aging a call and we'll set up an appointment for you. It's worked very well. We've had some folks that have done something as small as asking a question or two, all the way through to a person and a spouse with them working on benefits and that kind of thing. And that's a longer appointment, about an hour. So we are very excited about it. And they did tell us that if indeed we had a number of appointments on that day where it looked like an overflow, they will do another day. So we will keep that in mind, and hopefully we'll be that busy. I do apologize. We had a little glitch with our printing company, and that hasn't happened yet. So I'm grateful it hasn't, but it did this month, and I understand that newsletters were late, and I apologize if for some reason you still don't have it. We have enough for you to come in and pick one up. But my understanding is I've talked to every zip code person, and a person in each of the zip codes in Harwich have all received theirs by now. Even though we're almost halfway through the month. Again, I apologize. It was something that was out of our control, and they had a machine down or something that happened at the printer. I did also want to tell you that the bridge instruction and playing bridge is moved to April start date. Nancy Blezer did start in March, but only had 3 people, and said she thought she would try and see if people were interested in March, but apparently enough aren't back yet. So she has postponed it until April, and because she only had 3. We've talked a lot about this housing summit. The first one was a big success. We had about 60 or so signed up, and 93 or thereabouts showed up, which was huge. We were literally throwing down chairs as fast as we could to get people seated. So the Housing Summit 2, which was rescheduled from the snowstorm in February, is on March 24th. We'll blink our eyes and it'll be here before we know it. It's a Friday, and it's 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock. You do need to RSVP, and you can simply do that by calling our 430-7550 number. And we have a number of folks coming. I'm just going to quickly breeze through. Community Development Partnership, a decluttering downsizing person from ServPro will be here. Elder Services is going to have 2 people here with 2 different programs they're going to talk about. The Federal Savings Bank is going to be talking about reverse mortgages and are they your friend or not, and who do they work best for. Habitat for Humanity is going to be coming. A lot of people don't realize that seniors can actually move into a Habitat home. They'll be talking about that kind of adventure, I guess I'll call it. The Harwich Council on Aging, our own Kevin Grunwald, will be talking about some of our programs and services. And Leanne, the fire lieutenant, and myself will be talking about the home safety assessments and how you go about booking that. The Harwich Housing Committee and Housing Authority will be there. Housing Assistance Corporation will be there. Jack Conway Real Estate will be there. An elder law attorney, Charlie Case, will be there to review some of the documents you should have in place. Pine Oaks Village, of course, will be back. Senior property tax exemptions from our own town, how you can lower your property tax bills. Bruce Nightingale will talk about that. We have a person from the Veterans Administration who is going to be here talking about what's happening in the town of Dennis. and what kind of housing and who is it for veterans. And lastly, we will have Wingate of Harwich and Brewster, including their assisted living. They will all be here on Friday, March 24th, 10 to 12. Wonderful roundup of people and all different mixtures of all different topics. So it's free. We will have some goodies in the center of each table with coffee and tea and water bottles. If you are interested, please pre-register so that we have an idea of how much food to make and how many things of coffee and tea to make as well.
That's a pretty big program.
It
You
is.
have a lot of people coming.
Each of those people speak for approximately 5 to 6 minutes each. So it's kind of a round robin, and then at the very end we have questions. So on the tables will be note cards that if Paul has a question, let's say for a legal issue, he would write down the question and he would put Charlie Case on the top. We will collect those from the table ongoingly and pick them up and literally shuffle them to the people that they go to, and at the very end they will answer all of those questions. Around the room too we'll have
Sounds like much more than a 2-hour program.
It actually isn't. Both times we've done about an hour and 40 minutes, and the last 20 minutes is questions and answers. So it works out.
Right?
Yeah, it works out perfectly. It doesn't seem like it with the lineup, but it definitely does. We also have coming up we're in the middle of one of the Girl Power programs, but we're always looking for female mentors, and you only have to be over the age of 60 and have a love of children and working with children. And the next series begins on May 16th. At the very end of the summer, well, the end of the school year, I should say, on June 24th, all of the 3 classes of Girl Power and the adults will all join in a night before big supper with pizza. And on June 24th, we will have the Harwich 5K road race, which we will have some of the kids run in and some of the kids walk in with us. But if you are interested, I would urge you to give me a call, because it's a very wonderful program, not because I designed it, but because it really empowers young girls. It's girls in grades 3 and 4. And they are a ball of energy. If you like to be around high energy, you feel like you just wish you could bottle it when they come in. But it's a very fun program, and it goes on Tuesdays from 3:45 to 5:15. So if you've got an hour and a quarter once a week for 6 weeks, we would love to have you starting in May. So check your calendars now. Again, right around the corner, the day after the Housing Summit, we have a very fun, if you like wine and you like chocolate and you like food, this is the event for you. For a $25 ticket, you can join us at the First Crush Winery. They are going to have a wine tasting and chocolate party on that day at 3:30.
Wow, that
And,
sounds pretty good.
Well, it is, Paul. It's a fun event where everybody gets to chat with each other. You learn from the winemaker himself.
I've been there.
Dr. Puzio.
Yes.
Yeah, so if you've seen it, it's kind of a hidden gem, I say, because the outside of the building is not very pretty.
Well,
It's in an industrial park.
That's
So
right.
when you look at it, you'll think, oh my God, I paid $25 for this? And then you open up the door and you think, wow, it's absolutely beautiful. It's mahogany wood inside. And Dr. Puzio will take you around not only and show you the kinds of wine, but the big barrels, and give you a little tour of the building itself. And then where we are, our wonderful friends from Maplewood are doing all of the food, and the chocolate from Chocolate Sparrow will all be there as well. So you can have a little wine tasting, a little chocolate, and some awesome food from Maplewood. And all of the proceeds, all of the $25 tickets, all go to Alzheimer's Family Support Center in Brewster.
This is a lunch, is it?
No, it's 3:30. It's just the wine tasting and chocolate, but they will have food there as well. So
What
it's
are we
not a
gonna eat?
dinner, but it's, and I don't know what they're making this time.
I see.
Last time they had unbelievable appetizers. There were 3 or 4 of them, and it was, if you ate those things, like it was stuffed clams and beef wrapped up in a pastry shell. It was awesome. I was too nervous running around trying to make sure everyone was having a good time, so I didn't get to eat. I did have a little bit of the chocolate, but so if that's something that sounds good to you, or you'd like to help us by volunteering at that event, please call me. you can give me a call here at the council. But again, all of the proceeds go to the Alzheimer's Family Support Center.
Now, if you have a big crowd, can they handle all that?
They said that they can hold up to 100 people. We have not had that many. We had about 65 last year, and that was very comfortable. It wasn't like wall-to-wall people or anything. So, so definitely give us a call, because we would prefer to have people get their tickets ahead so we know how many to plan on. The same group, Alzheimer's Family Support Center, on Sunday, April 2nd, if you like champagne, they are going to be having a wonderful champagne brunch at 12 o'clock, 12 noon, $20 tickets, and that will be at the Dennis Inn. So you can give us a call if you'd like to know more about it, or in your newsletters, which hopefully by now you have, on the second to last page, you'll see the little blurb in there, and it's got the 896 number that you call for tickets. We are hoping that we have a really big turnout for that event as well, because they're celebrating their 2 years of service to our entire Cape community. And it's an important group, because that particular, and the reason we do My Father's Walk also, the money all goes to them, is because every service that they provide is free. I'm going to repeat that. Every service that Alzheimer's Family Support Center provides is 100% free. I don't know of anywhere else that does that, and they are solely dependent upon grants and fundraisers. So that's why we continue to support them, because they do our excuse me, support groups here, and they provide respite. They do all kinds of wonderful educational programs. We have 2 coming up in May, as a matter of fact. So if you can go to the wine tasting, we'd love to have you. If you can go to the brunch on April 2nd, we'd love to have you there too. I do want to tell you, unfortunately, we have another scam going around. Like, there isn't enough. If the crooks just put themselves, the effort they put into the scams, into work, we'd have a great workforce. It's another IRS scam. And so the IRS, if you can believe it, actually sent all of the COAs across the Commonwealth a little blurb that's in your newsletter right below the champagne brunch about what the IRS will never do. And the reason is because there's a number of folks that have been called or phoned, and they're told that they owe money to the IRS, and if they don't fork it over on a credit card, that they will have a warrant out for their arrest. That will never, ever happen. So I'm not going to read them all, but they do have a number of them that are on that page of what the IRS will never do. So please do take a look at that, because it is something that you could get a phone call and be caught off guard and end up giving your credit card information to a scam artist and not the IRS. So we don't want anybody to fall into that category, because that's a very dangerous thing when you give somebody your credit card. This time of year, we often have people that say, oh, this winter I put on so much weight, I gotta get it off. And what I will tell you is we have this wonderful group that has been around since pretty much almost after we got here at the community center building, that we call the Diet Support Group or Nutrition Group. And they are here every Tuesday faithfully at 9 o'clock. They're in the child care room. They have a nurse, RN nurse, Ginny O'Halloran, who leads the group. And they'll do a weigh-in. They have a topic for each day that they talk about. They'll talk about strategies of how to keep weight off or simple ways to exercise. It's a wonderful group. It's free. I think they ask for a 25-cent donation when you get weighed in or something, but it's not a fee for program. And the woman, Ginny, who leads it, has asked us to say that they definitely would like to have more members come in, people come in, and that if you have any questions, you can give her a call directly at 508-430-1909. And we're hoping that you do, because that program is just phenomenal. And people have lost a tremendous amount of weight just by listening to the things that she has given them. So I would urge you, if you haven't, to take a shot at it and give it a try. So we have a couple of seminars coming up I want to tell you about. You don't need to take a pen or pencil to this, because they're all in this newsletter. And if you don't get the newsletter, call our desk and we'll send you one. On Friday, March 31st, everyone is welcome, and my balance class is going to join me. We are going to be listening to a seminar on that day, March 31st, a Friday at 9:30, to Sean O'Reilly. He's a physical therapist and the director of the entire rehab at Cape Cod Orthopedics, PT. This seminar, as well as the next one I'm going to tell you about, are going to fill up fast. They're just that kind of topic. And we do have just a classroom set aside for this particular seminar. So please call today if it's something that you're interested in, because I want you to be able to get in. And we have 15 to 20 people in our exercise class, and the classrooms hold 30-something, thereabouts. So if you're interested, give us a call today. They'll be talking about fall prevention and what you can do to keep yourself from falling, steps you can take. The other seminar, are you ready? Are you ready to go back to school? No worries.
No.
There's no tests in this class, and it's only 1 day and 1 hour, Paul. You're going to learn about driving tips and pitfalls as you age. This is from the Grand Prix Driving School. Now, when I said that before, somebody said to me, that sounds like a race, you know, the Grand Prix drivers. It isn't. It's just the name of the driving school. They do give a course here to students that are learning how to drive. But this is going to be for adults and seniors so that you can learn what are the pitfalls and what are things that you can do to prevent problems in driving, and driving tips they will give us as well. This is also going to fill fast because we have a lot of people who have asked us for the AARP class. We haven't had enough to be able to offer that class. This one, there is no magic number, but it's on April 12th at 9:30. It's a Wednesday, and again, we would absolutely love to have you. The other important issue that I want to tell people about is the tax exemptions. Again, they are in the newsletter next to the Easter egg hunt, actually the egg hunt, sorry, that's on Friday the 14th at 3:30. And I hope you all will come, even if it's just to volunteer and observe and help Carolyn to assist the kids at the middle school to find the eggs. It's a very fun event. So it's on the page next to that, and it's clause 41C that you want for the senior exemption, and I never remember, I'm sorry, 59 S5K for the property tax work-off. What am I talking about? Well, you can read all of the details in the newsletter, but what this program, what all of the programs do is they allow you to get approximately these two, $1,000 off of your property tax bill. So if you're eligible for one, you're eligible for the other, which means you could get up to $2,000 off of your property tax. And the way that that works, the senior exemption is you have to be over 65, you have to own your own home. If you're an individual, your gross receipts cannot be more than $24,849. And if you're married, $37,274. There's another whole set if you are married and living in the house. The assets are also taken into consideration, and the numbers are there in the newsletter as well for that. And those same magic numbers are the same for the property tax work-off program. That program is a win-win for us, for the town of Harwich. You do work 100 hours or less, and the amount of hours that you do is multiplied by a figure to get to that $1,000 abatement and off of your property tax. The kinds of work depend on what you've done in your past. If you are somebody who was an accountant, we will use those skills in the town of Harwich as a volunteer helping a department. If you're somebody who was a stay-at-home mom and you're good at filing, or you're good at answering a phone, or you're good at helping to deliver meals in our kitchen, we will put you to work. The other piece that people don't know that I want to emphasize is if you, for example, are in your 90s or you are disabled and can't do the work yourself, you can designate a family member to do the work and you still get the abatement off of your property tax. So I think that's a pretty sweet deal. And if you can get both of those exemptions, the Assessor's Department wants to hear from you literally today. They're both wonderful programs, and I would urge you to give the Assessor's Office a call to find out if you qualify. But the easiest way to find out is literally by looking in the newsletter at our the exemption list. We have all of them printed there, and you can see which ones you qualify for. There are some for veterans, there are some for people with disabilities, There is a way that you can defer your taxes until after you're deceased. So if you have any questions, you can certainly give me a call, but the assessors are the ones that are the experts on the program, and they can answer most of your questions. Once they get you into the queue, so to speak, and they say, yep, Mrs. Jones is qualified, then they send you to me, and I do the placements of where you'll go in town to do your volunteer work. So it's a win-win.
Can you find out what the date is for the wine tasting and
Yes, that's in the newsletter as well. There's a big flyer in there. It's March 25th.
March 25th?
Yep, it's a Saturday.
Okay, that's
And,
a week from this Saturday.
Yeah, it's right around the corner. When I first started to talk about it on this station, it seemed like it was months away, and now we're about a week away. So if you are interested, they have plenty of tickets, and they would love to be able to get a ticket to you or bring one and meet you at the door with it.
Very good. It sounds like you have a lot of really great programs, Barbara Ann.
We do. We're busy in the next couple of months.
I wish you a lot of luck.
Thank you, and thank you for tuning in.